looking back, I should have done things differently. You know, I should have been easier to approach and talk to.
Well, give me an example, like what happened?
Well, I guess, without getting too deep, I said a lot of things in different situations that I was capable of that made people believe, yeah, he might do that. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't trying to fuck with him like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to deal with that. And,
right.
you know, you say something to the wrong person at the wrong time, you're aggressive, you know, and, you know, even though I was just trying to be protective, that was my perception. But at the same time, I needed guidance that I wasn't getting. You know, I thought I was the king of rap, you know, but not the king like everybody else's king, you know, or their own thing. I was like, anybody could get it at any given time, you know, and that really wasn't what it was about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Not in business.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in business.
You know, and so you approaching people when they approach you and you kind of unapproachable. So that's why I didn't probably have any management at the time. I ran through a couple of homies trying to be managers, you know, and I didn't trust any lawyers, you know what I'm saying? And so nobody would really get at me on that level to help me understand the potential of what I was possessing. You know, so I'm taking responsibility for that. You know, it's all different now.
So with that all being said, like where and how did that mentality come from you, and how did you not adapt business-wise sooner?
Well, I was holding on to a lot of anger about a lot of things that were out of my control, and not being guided to understand, once again, and not even going to that guidance or not recognizing it when I had it. Because cats like Father Amdi from the Watts Prophets was in and throughout, because Quik was messing with him, and you know, he was obviously a part of Quik's mentorship, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you get exposed to certain things, you just don't recognize what they are. And so while you're dealing with other things that's distracting you, keeping you moving how you moving, you're not really realizing that, you know, you need other things. You leading cats, you taking care of people. I was used to doing things a certain way. And even though I wasn't really that hustler in the streets like that, I was right aligned and affiliated with that. And so you know, a lot of that, you know, protecting certain aspects of my reality is just like the Penthouse Players Clique. It's like I didn't want a gangbang. So I needed something that I could represent and I could do that would be respected on a certain level, so that I didn't have to join the gang, so that I had to be involved in that, because that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, my cats, my folks, they front line. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I ain't messing with that. I mean, that ain't me, you know? So they allowed me to, you know, to still be down to that extent and do me. And I was protected by that aspect, but it was still around me. All them things was around us. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of those things, once again, inspired the music. And you know, Quik was right there with us. When Quik came to the Penthouse, you know, he was rapping about what we were doing. You know, in addition to having fun, because he was the youngest, you know, he was the baby of the crew. So, but he was, like I said, a talented individual who, you know, soaked it all up and did it the way he did it, you know?
So speaking of influences and a lot of things we've talked about today, who, especially in the rap world, but then outside of rap, like who did you look to, or who was strictly on a writing perspective that you were like, yo, this dude.
Wow. I gotta say, Melle Mel, Grandmaster Melle Mel, was like one of the first cats that step off, moved me. You know what I'm saying? And then Super Rhymes. You know, when he was like, I got more rhymes than the clock chimes, I got more rhymes than the monkey climbs, I got more rhymes than lemons and limes, and I got more rhymes than the bank got dimes. I was like, wow, that's a lot of rhymes. You know what I'm saying? So when I went back and listened, I was like, he do got all them rhymes, you know? And so that was motivational too, but I was a poet as a youngster. You know, I was into poetry in elementary school and always excelled at that, you know? And so once I graduated from high school, trying to figure out what I was gonna do with my life, you know, it kind of just came together, being in the band the last 6 years and, you know, knowing music like that and appreciating it on that level. And then, you know, the poetry, it was just the rapping part that I had to get right, you know? Putting it all together and then representing it and then figuring out how I wanted to do it, you know? And the Penthouse Players Clique came about because I was looking for a name for my rap group. And one of my partners, his name was Mark. I don't remember his last name, but I remember he had a jacket and it had Penthouse Players on the back. And I was like, you ain't no player. Give me that, you know? And I basically just took that name. So Mark, if you out there, homie, come holler at me, man. We got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So as you're looking at these different rappers that you're admiring for what they're writing about, how did you see, since with Melle Mel and what you ended up putting out to the world is dramatically different from them?
Nah, you think so?
Well, on content, not necessarily.
Right. Well, I was still trying to give them me, you know, with a respect for that. Because even your boy LL, you know, he was like the man. Right. You know, when I was like really like honing my skills. And so, you know, you see cats and out of respect, you know, you approaching them to holler at them on a certain level so they holler back. You know, even our man Dana Dane, you know, it's like the storytelling skills, the way they do what they do. It's like you admire that. Absolutely. From a perspective that I want to be like that. But at the same time, you may approach it, at least I was, like you said, combatively. You know, it's like, even though I wasn't, at least at the time, feeling like it was going to rise to a level of disrespect, at the same time, I'm getting my serve on. Right. You know, that's what we did. You know, it was a battle at the time, and I went undefeated in a few battles I had. So, but definitely, you know, I took the best of what I admired and respected, and then, you know, put me into that. You know, because like I said, I already had the background from appreciating music and writing poetry as a youngster. So it was just about making it something that I could represent and I could live and die with. You know? Okay. And that's really what it's about as well. You know, Father MD told me early on, though, you know, he was like, Ham, certain cats, they can't rap about things they don't want to happen. You could rap about what already happened. You could speak certain things into existence. So be careful what you talking about when it's coming to this music and this poetry and saying things that you don't want to happen. But you're talking about it like this could happen. Right. And he was like, some of us can't do that. We can't get away with that. And it's obvious when you listen to certain music and you see certain cats route and where they at or where they not at. You know, you recognize these cats prophesy certain events, man, in their reality, you know?
And usually for the negative, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though, you know, we could speak some beautiful things into reality. You know, fake it till you make it type of shit, but... Well,
I mean, that's one of the early things, of course, as you're well aware with rap, was the aspirationalness of getting out of a bad situation, which obviously is very positive. And a lot of people, including almost everybody, especially the first 15, 20 years of people making the records, were aspirationally making them to get better their situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a little bit later on that people started blurring that line that you're talking about, and, you know.
Yeah, keeping it real became
a
cold impediment.
Real wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
But for now, because we're definitely going to do parts 2 and probably 3 or whatever, but what are you working on now? What should people be looking out for?
Well, it's the Young Giants on mine, you know, all day, every day. You know, they working with Jelly Roll, they working with Day One, they working with Battle Cat, you know, and it's all about them for me. Backing them, yeah, absolutely. My 2 sons, Deuce Mack and Big Joe West. It's all about them for me, man, and playing my position for them, man. You know, they grown men with their own families and their own responsibilities, but at the same time, you know, we owe this game and this game owe us. So we just gonna continue to give. You know, we gonna give them what they need and get what we got to get out of it as well. You know, so that's really what it's about. They got a project, 2090s, that's just like getting a little love, and Fleetwood Brown music is finishing up, and G-Sides and P-Talk is another project that we doing some visuals for right now. So be on the lookout for that Young Giants, man. We gonna try to flood it so that you can get on their little page and get get caught up for at least 2 or 3 hours, you know?
There it is.
Yeah.
And then what would you say is the main lesson you've told them or taught them or shown them about things you did right or wrong that you're helping them with?
Oh man, that's a lot. But I would say the main thing is do the work. You know, it's like you're gonna get out of it what you put into it.
That's true.
Yeah, so, you know, if you really want everything out of it, especially how crowded it is now, because back when I was rapping, it wasn't even cool to rap. It wasn't even the shit. It was sell drugs and do something different. Rap ain't gonna be here, you know?
Right.
But now everybody and their mama rapping, and the game is watered down with a lot of things that make it seem like it's easy to blow up, and for some people it apparently is, you know? But the skill level is nowhere near about what it used to be when we was, you know, and I guess it don't take that now. So you got to put that work in. That's the main thing I tell them.
And we're going to put in part 2 coming soon with Playa Hamm, but we appreciate you guys checking us out here on Unique
Appreciate
Access. Playa Hamm. Pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming through.
Appreciate you as well.
Yes. Playa Hamm. I'm Soren Baker, Unique Access.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on your TV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.